Okay, we are live. Welcome to episode 3 of the Happy Little Boards show. I am glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. I stole that greeting from a great mental health podcast that I love to listen to called Depresh Mode. Just want to shout that out because it's the best title ever. Anyway, we're here and that's exciting. And it is a very chilly Thursday here in southeastern Massachusetts. And I let the heater run down in my basement room here for quite a few minutes before I came down to do this because I did not want to be shivering and uncomfortable as I sat down here. So first things first, real quick. If you like this, if you've seen some of the stuff I've put out there so far, if you want to support me as a person or any of those things, can you please just take 1 second and hit that subscribe button on YouTube? Please, it helps support me doing this. It helps continue to grow this. I'm trying to put this out there to maybe help a few people, relax and or find something healthy to do with their free time that can, bring a little positivity to the universe. So if you believe in that and you like what I'm doing here, if you don't mind just giving a subscribe to the channel to help it, I would greatly appreciate it. And I promise to continue to make these as great as I can and get better and better at doing this and all that fun stuff. All right, so with that being said, I already have chosen my first sound here on the keyboard. I'm using the same keyboard as last time, just that plain old, simple keyboard that you could get from any store. I have chosen the Polysynth preset. Ooh, and before I forget, there are some new pedals on the board that I've gotten to try out because I think they're perfect for this kind of thing. And let me introduce you to the Old Blood Noise Endeavors. That's a mouthful, but also one of my favorite pedal companies. They are pretty much a guarantee to give you something that you will not find anywhere else throughout their entire line of pedals. But they also are very cool, funny, creative people, and they're awesome. And I'm happy to have these 2 new pedals on my board. This one is called the BL44 Reverse. So essentially what it does is the sound that comes in, it spits it out backwards because it's just one of those where it's fun to always, it's situational. So every time you start playing something and you want to use that pedal, it's not like something you set it and forget it. You always get to play with it and find a cool sound, which I love, especially for this stuff, because that's what it's about. It's about playing and having fun with the sound. Second one, same company, same style here. It's the BL37, which is a reverb. It makes the sound sparkly and like you're singing it into a cave of wonder. Also, in this situation where we're building some ambient sound play loops, I think it's also awesome to be able to control the volume because you don't always want everything to be the same volume when you're looping. I find it makes it more interesting if you can have some things be a little more in the background and quiet. You get the idea. Okay, so now with all that blah 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 out of the way, let's get a layer going. I'm also going to switch it up today, and I'm only going to use the black keys up here, just, for fun and to prove that you can just stick to the white keys or the black keys and do this and know absolutely nothing about music, and you're pretty much guaranteed to not do anything that sounds bad. Bad, as they say. So, I have my preset set. I have the reverse pedal that I just spoke about on. I've got the Walrus Audio Ambient back. And what I've done with this one is I put the mix up all the way, so you're not hearing anything directly. It's all just the awesome reverb that comes out of that one. And I have a little bit of the reverse coming in through the Old Blood BL44 reverse. I'm just going to call it the Old Blood reverse because that sounds like some awesome band name. So I'm going to see what I'm working with here first. So I'm just going to hit 2 notes that are a little bit far apart to start, and I'm going to start down here. And that's a perfect sound, I think, for a first layer. It's what I like doing, something that's just kind of a just kind of like a, I don't know, it's like a soft bed to lay all the other stuff in. And so with that, let's hit record here on the old looper and start hitting some stuff. I like to try to time it out with breaths, like in between breaths, and it's important not to rush. Just take your time, have fun with it. Don't think about when and where you're pushing it. Just wait until you're like, yeah, now. You can hear there's that little like initial noise, and then you can hear like the little reverse come in. It's nice. I think that's great, so I'm gonna let that fade out all the way, and then boom, we got our first layer. There it is. Okay, so let's turn these off. I'll click out of that. It's definitely static because it's so cold and dry in here. Alright, so we got our bass layer. I'm going to pick another one at random here. Let's pick... it looks good. Clean or nylon guitar. How about that one? Boop, boop. Alright, so... I was sitting before I did this and setting this up, and again I was reminded of kind of where this all started, and it was definitely, this all came from a realization, and it has to do with meditation. I kind of wanted to take the time today to chat about meditation. Now, I'm curious if you... I want you to ask yourself, because I'll tell you, it was true for me. When I heard the word meditation, I kind of like internally rolled my eyes at it, because how I am as a person, how my life is, having a busy job, and I have 4 kids if I haven't mentioned that before, and I don't have a lot of time to sit and meditate. It's hard to think about placing that in there, for one. Secondly, I picture, whenever I hear the word meditation, I picture, the monk sitting in this peaceful garden, cross-legged, just quietly for hours. And as much as that is wildly appealing to me, one, I definitely don't have the flexibility to sit like that. I don't have the quiet space to sit and do that. And I don't really think, I've over the times that I've listened to people talk about how to meditate on like a podcast or a show or something, or in a book, or when I've listened to maybe like a guided meditation with words, I really, really struggle with my brain being able to, it becomes frustrating is what it is. It's just, I know I could get there with practice doing that type of meditation, but initially I know it's a very frustrating endeavor because it's something that I'm not initially good at, and that always kind of steered me away from it. As much as like that would be awesome, I wasn't like, I didn't think it was stupid, but I kind of like poo-pooed it because it wasn't something that I felt was like accessible for me, especially without a great deal of effort and frustration, which, there's something to be said for that. So where I'm going with all of this is I've learned, and again, I think it was just listening to somebody randomly talk about it in conversation on like a podcast or in a book or something. There isn't just one type of meditation. I think there's like 9 or 10, according to, the science or whatever. There's various types of meditation, and I kind of stumbled upon my own relationship with that because of doing this stuff. Ooh, that's very loud. Excuse me. I'm going to turn this down and start making another layer here real quick while I talk about my experience. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to turn that down on the keyboard. So precisely what I'm doing right at this moment. That's why I paused there for a second to continue doing this. Okay, that's wonderful. So I'm going to hit record while I'm talking here. I had a friend, and this is probably going back, maybe almost 10 years now, who I've known forever, and, we played music together in bands together, and we were always doing something musical, and he had just randomly reached out and told me about a couple of new pedals that he had found that he thought I might be interested in, and he was messing around with. And this was during a time when there was kind of like a surge in what was referred to then as boutique guitar pedal companies, which just meant they were small companies. They were making stuff, these new cool pedals that were small batches or kind of weird, out of the ordinary things. And it led me to be like, oh, cool, yeah, I think I bought a couple of like delays or reverbs or something, and when I got them, I set them up, plugged them in with my guitar, and I just sat and I just messed with the knobs and buttons and sliders and all that good stuff, just to kind of understand how the pedal worked. And when I walked away, our layers come back in, so I made it all the way around. Close that chapter. When I walked away from doing that the first few times, I realized that I actually kind of felt wonderful. Like it was not just a happiness, I felt very relaxed. And then later on, I was listening to somebody talk, as I said, and he talked about all these different forms of meditation that there are out there. And long story, well, it's already a long story, but shortening the long story and bringing it all together here is there's a type of meditation called focused attention meditation. And the simple explanation of that is when you allow yourself to sit in a space alone. I think it is important in terms of meditation. I think that is one thing that carries over through all of them, is that it's important to allow yourself to have a moment alone. But with focused attention meditation, all you're really doing is, whether it's a video, a sound, your own physical sensation like breathing, or sitting and listening and playing with one specific thing, which is what I was doing. So I was accidentally meditating and I didn't realize it. Oops, I meditated. But it kind of reframed my whole perspective on meditation and what that means and how to do it and where that fits in my life. And so now all of a sudden, this specific thing that I was doing was actually something I could do on purpose and for my own well-being. It was the healthy part of my life now. And that has led to me kind of honing it into this simple setup, looping situation that has turned into happy little boards. And I just really think it's especially important for me to help let people know that, don't be like me at the beginning and think that just meditation meant one specific thing, and that if you weren't perfectly set up to do that it wasn't worth doing, or it was going to be, a difficult experience. Now, I'm not saying I'm never gonna pursue meditation in the first form I spoke of, whatever, but I just want to say that sitting and doing this for me and who I am as a person, it allowed me access to a form of meditation that gave me great benefit immediately, and it's fun and it's fairly simple to set up. I'm sure you can buy keyboards that are a lot smaller than this now, and just with a few pieces of fun musical equipment that I also use for other things in my life, I could set up a situation where I could sit and meditate. And just learning what I was doing and understanding it more was a wonderful change for me, and I've been doing this ever since. Yeah, I've gone through stretches where I don't sit and do this, but that's just a life. But what I'm saying here is that I always come back to it, and it always gives me the same thing, and it never is, it doesn't lose its effectiveness, is the words I'm looking for here. And I think it's just something that if you're hearing me talk about this and you're going, oh my gosh, I know exactly what you mean, well, then, reach out. Happy to help you learn how to get into this and set up something, or just let me know what your experiences are with that and how you feel about it, or if you've had success with other things. Maybe me bringing this up will help you realize that there's a different thing in your life that you've done that's a focused attention meditation. A part of me thinks that even doing sitting in riding an exercise bike, listening to music, or watching one of the, you can watch the videos where it looks like you're biking somewhere, where you're not interacting with another person. I feel like that fits perfectly. I'm sure there's people out there that are doing that and having this benefit and not realizing they're meditating. Again, oops, I meditated. I gotta get that on a t-shirt, right? But anyway, I felt today was definitely the right day to bring that up, and that was what I wanted to share with y'all. I just side note, funny thing is I'm not from the South. I've lived in this area my entire life, but I'm very jealous of saying y'all and typing y'all in conversation especially. So I slipped one in there. If you're from the South, don't hate me. I love it. And I'm just jealous that it's not technically part of my Massachusetts, verbiage up here. But I'll throw one in every now and then, or it'll just slip out, I guess. So let's see. Let's move on to a new layer here. We got a pretty good thing going on. Didn't want to distract too much. Let's finish this off. How about some harp? Let's do some harp. That'll sound a little similar to the guitar one. And let's see, what do we got? Let's do both Old Blood pedals on here. Let's do full mix, or almost full mix on the reverse. Ooh, that's cool. Alright, so I found these 3 that sound good. I'm just gonna kind of sit here and bounce around on those. And you know what the heck, let's throw in some delay too, because I think that's always fun, just to give a little bit of that echo. Let's turn that way up. That's on. The volume up. Ooh, actually, here. That slider is pretty cool. I might actually use that in this. See, I never thought of that until this moment. Just to move the slider and get that little sound. Just sometimes just turning a knob is the part of the noise that's fun. I added a 4th note in there, but you do what you want. That's what's important. And that's why I don't necessarily talk too much about exactly what I'm doing here. Is 1, I'm not thinking a lot about that. And 2, the important thing isn't to copy me. It's to understand what I'm doing, and then seeing how it works for you. That's super cool, doing the slider. Well, it's nice, like, with the slider, it's just different than a knob. It's more fun. It's just sliding. And just like that, he came around and finished that layer. Alright. I think I might stick with just 4 on this one. I think I usually do 5. That's already sounding pretty awesome. I mean, I'd be happy with it just now, like how it is. But let's see. Let's see if we can find another one that fits in there good. Alright, let's try something crazy. Let's do a short feedback. Let's move the slider down on the clock. Let's switch the delay to reverse. We'll just add in a little bit of the Old Blood reverse. We'll switch the delay setting to its reverse setting. We'll put up a high mix and a little, maybe just put it all kind of high. Actually, we'll make the time shorter. See how that sounds. And now we gotta pick a sound. So actually, maybe we'll just put all the pedals on for this one. We'll see. Okay, let's see. What do we got? How about New Age? Speaking of meditation and words that you relate to a specific thing, New Age is definitely one. If you're from the 90s era, you may remember New Age like CDs and albums for sale that were like Enya. It was like a compilation of all this, like, it's like music you hear when you're getting a massage, which I guess kind of like this stuff. So it's funny that there's a New Age setting on here. You know what? I'm a little suspicious of this sound fitting in nicely, but let's put the pedals on. Let's put this, let's put it on the haze one. Just leave it like that. Let's add a little of that. Let's turn the volume. That's what we'll do. We'll turn the volume down. There's almost like this cool, like, static sound in there. It's like a shh. Yeah. That seems right. See? Before you get rid of a sound and switch it up, turn the pedals on. You never know. Alright, we're recording. Let's do it. That's another reason, I think, when I talk about sticking to either a little chunk of notes, or especially sticking to either the black or white keys, I don't want to be thinking about the notes I'm playing. Like, I'm talking to you and I'm just picking fingers to push. I just have them over some keys. Because I think that takes away from that meditative part of it. Because I'm more focused on paying attention to what we've already created for the loop and finding little spots where I'm just kind of out of instinct just deciding to touch a key. No rhyme or reason, and just kind of letting myself feel. Do a couple in a row, or just hit one, and one again, and the other one, and go back to that one. And like, even if you're staring at the keys. Oh, it came back around. Yep. Even if you're just staring at the keys and carefully pushing one note at a time, you will still be able to do this. Let's turn this up so you can hear it better. Let's see what we got going here. in my unprofessional opinion, that we've created a successful loop and it doesn't need any more layers. It's a nice one. I'm happy with this one. And don't forget, if you've made it this far in the video without falling asleep, I will, as always, put a link to be able to download this loop. I will make a 5-minute version of it on my computer. I will put it in a Dropbox folder. There will be a link in the description of this video. You click on that, and then somewhere on the screen, depending on what device you're on, there will be a save to device or export or download button you can push, and you can download this. If you have any trouble, message me. I'm here to help you get this as easily as possible. So again, just want to remind you, I might not be able to answer immediately if you contact me, but I'm here and happy to help if you have any questions about any of this stuff. And again, if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button or throwing me a like, or even just sharing this with a friend that you think might be interested in it. I'm very excited to keep this going and hopefully grow it into a bigger thing that more people can enjoy. And also, I'm very appreciative of you guys allowing me to sit here and talk about this stuff, and hopefully it helps. It is helpful to me. Outside of the meditation thing, the actual recording these videos and talking into a camera while I'm actually alone here is something that is also beneficial to me as a person, because I've always struggled with feelings of insecurity around, kind of, I guess the easy way to say it is sharing the unique parts of me out loud in the world. And all the stuff I talk about in these videos are things that I think about a lot, and I don't know, I think I'm learning the importance of sharing things that you've learned as a human that may be unique to your life. Like nobody else in existence, as many people as there are and as many similarities as we may all have, there is no one in this existence of human beings that has lived and felt the feelings and have the memories and had the experiences that I have had or that you have had. And that all comes with certain little things where even if you are talking about the exact same experience as someone else, you might find that the way you say your words, or this one little thing that you noticed that somebody else may not have noticed, could completely change the way someone else thinks about things. To tie it all in, that's exactly what happened with me with meditation, and it's the reason that I'm sitting here recording this video right now, is because I don't even think the podcast or book that I was listening to, I don't even remember exactly what it was. I just remember there was a little side tangent that was talked about, and it involved the different kinds of meditation that are out there. And that literal moment where someone went on a tangent and got sidetracked from the conversation and happened to bring this up is the only reason that is the main reason, the main turn in my change in my perception of things that has led me to be here doing this. I wish I could remember so I could thank the person, but maybe someday I will stumble across that conversation again. But in any case, I hope that the things I've talked about here today maybe offer you something along that lines. And with that, I would say we've had a successful episode here. And I'm gonna say that's the end of episode 3 of the Happy Little Board Show. And I think it's probably fitting to title this one Oops, I Meditated. So I look forward to making that thumbnail for this video. And yeah, I will see you guys in 2 weeks. A week from, I'll do these, I'm continuing to do these every other Sunday just to allow myself time and room in my life to do other things, because making videos does require a fair amount of work on the back end. And so as of right now, I'm going to continue with the every other Sunday, as well as I'm still working on making other videos to show about how to use specific things in certain ways, and I look forward to sharing those this coming week. So yeah, with that, I hope you all have had a peaceful time listening to me make a loop and talk about stuff, and I wish you well on the rest of your week. And with that, I'm gonna turn this up and take my minute to sit and breathe, close my eyes, and focus on the sounds, and feel better afterwards. See you guys next time. Thank you.